Want to bring in Jordan last as we look at these images now, haunting images. Jordan was at today's event at Utah Valley University, and he saw what happened there. Sir, thanks for joining us. Can you take us through where you were, what you saw, and your reaction?
Sure. The event started about 12 p.m. I got there right in time, walked past their security detail and everything, tried to find the line to ask him a question. I actually was looking forward to challenging him on a couple of things. I really respect him. I wanted to talk to him, and made my way over to where I thought the line was, which is maybe directly, I would say 50 to 100 feet to the right of Charlie Kirk. I guess, yeah, at his 3 o'clock. It was only a few minutes. Like the first question had just finished. It was kind of a longer question, so they had maybe done that for 10 or so minutes, and they had just gotten into the second question, I believe. And that's when I heard like a huge pop. Whenever I hear sounds like that, first I think, okay, maybe it's just fireworks. But after a few seconds, all of us kind of standing together, it's a very suspicious sound to hear with tons of people. There were so many people there. And there was, I guess, like a cement pillar or wall kind of right behind me. So as this suspicious sound has just gone off, I kind of put myself behind the wall. It was very, very good cover in case anything was happening. And then my brain was processing. It's a very loud sound. It seemed to me to come, in my mind, it came directly from the center of the crowd. I don't know where it came from, but that's just what my mind, I guess, was thinking. And then that's when, after a few seconds, people started saying, like, "Oh my goodness, Charlie was shot. I saw him fall to the ground." And that's when I realized this is a serious situation. We all crouched down. We have great cover, but I was then just listening for more shots because obviously this could become a much worse tragedy than it already was. And there were no more shots coming. We were maybe 30 seconds passes, and that's when people start yelling, "Run." There was a door maybe 10 feet away from me. I had to lose my cover to get to the door, but it seemed like the best option. So crouch down and just go with the people.
Yeah.
As soon as I got through the door, I ran as fast as I could, I guess, and as far as I could.
Now, Jordan, I'm glad you're all right to tell us about this. From all accounts, the atmosphere was, pretty pleasant, right? Pretty chill. People were into it. They were listening to their speaker. I'm wondering, you said security detail. You passed a security detail. Others have told us there was no security. So describe for us what it was like to get into this. I guess it's a quad there at the school.
Yeah, it's like a courtyard. There was definitely security. I mean, I'm not an expert on security, but they had the guys with the little curly wire coming out. So I assume that those were a security detail. It was definitely there.
But no metal detectors.
No, there were no metal detectors. There was no checking anything. And in fact, I've been in not a shooting situation, but other dangerous situations before. And so I'm often thinking about these things. I did think, anyone in here could have a gun. No one checked me. So I was, it's just a thought that came through my head.
Yeah,
so it's very tragic.
Kind of a haunting image there. All right. Well, Jordan Last, thank you for sharing with us what you saw and what you did in those terrifying moments. She was at the event right now. She saw the attack. She's on the phone. Right on, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. If you could tell us where you were, what you saw, what happened.
Yeah, so I was clear up at the front. So they had the tent set up for where Charlie was going to be. And then they had the cattle grade set up with a little walkway for the people that were going to debate him. And then I was the grate right behind it. So I was right by the walkway. So I was right up front.
And then what happened? When the actual shot was fired, where were you? What did you see or hear?
So I was, he was just talking to the second debater. And ironically, it was about the transgender shooter. And, they're talking about, not allowing them to purchase firearms. And he was talking back and forth with the guy. And then all of a sudden I hear a pop. I see Charlie. I think it got his carotid. I just saw him grab. It looked like his neck, and there's just blood pouring out everywhere, and his eyes kind of rolled back. And at that point, I kind of looked up because it sounded like it came up from behind me up the hill, and it was just one pop. And then we all dropped to the ground, and then they told us all to run. So we all ran out.
Yeah, I'm imagining pandemonium at that point. Did you see medical personnel attend to him, and what happened after that?
By the time I looked up, he was already off. He was already out. He was already out of the tent. There were some police officers up there. There was his security. There was no metal detectors or anything for us to go through. They didn't even check our tickets.
What about the gunman? Any sense of what became of the person? I don't know if it's a man or a woman. The person who fired the shot?
Nope, I didn't see anything. I just dropped when everybody else dropped, and then I ran when they told everybody to run.
So you described it as a debate that was going on. So it was a debate between Charlie and someone else, or just a sort of a...
Yeah, so he just proved me wrong. And basically, because he's a right-winger, and, he's very, very, very good at his debates. And he invites mostly college kids to go up and debate him. And, a lot of them were, had a lot of the same views, but there was something that may be a little bit off that they don't quite agree with. So they're just trying to, debate him back and forth on their views versus his.
So it sounds like people from all points on the political spectrum. What about the atmosphere, the mood? What was it like leading up to that?
Oh, man, we were all having fun. We were shouting, USA and Charlie Kirk and listening to some, 80s music like Queen and that, and just stuff to pump you up. We're just all having a good time.
Yeah, like a festival kind of atmosphere. I want to ask you about security. What was that like as you entered this area? And what kind of area is this?
There was none. It was like, so when you walked in there, it was like a kind of in the crevice of the buildings with a bridge across it. And then behind it was like a grassy open area with a little bit of sitting that's kind of in a stadium seating. But it was like a little hill. And
this is on the campus of Utah Valley University? Yeah. Are you a student there, or do you have an affiliation with the university?
No, I'm old. I'm in my 50s, so a lot of these people were college-age students, but there was quite a few, actually, I would say, that were around my age, too.
Yeah. And where did you get out? You ran out of there. Where'd you go, and what did everybody else do who was with you?
We all just ran to our vehicles, and I don't know where everybody's scattered. I don't know if, some of them were students that, had to catch a bus or whatever. But the ones that have cars, we all ran to our cars. I mean, I parked a little ways away, so it was a little bit of a trek, but it was fine.
But again, interesting, as you point out, no security, open area right there at Utah Valley University. Radon Dasheen, I really appreciate your insight and your telling us your story. We thank you for that.
And we have new information into our CBS News 24/7 newsroom, an interview with a man who was at the event and spoke to Charlie Kirk just before the shooting. Let's take a listen.
But after I got done talking to him, I really couldn't exit because there's such a big crowd. So I turned around, and like 10 to 20 seconds later, after I got done talking to Charlie, I saw that he was shot in the neck and that he was squirting blood everywhere. But I was piecing things together, and it was really weird because the second guest that I talked to, before I went and asked him the question, what I was going to ask him, he was talking to him about how he was going to ask about transgenderism or something like that, but nothing about shootings. And this is the irony that came to me, which was like, right when he asked that, not like 5-10 seconds later, he was shot. And not only that, right after that, someone confessed to it who had no weapon, which makes me think that it was clearly a setup and that multiple people were involved. So, but prior to that, that's all I saw because everyone was squirming. I didn't see anyone fire a shot. I think it had to come from an elevated position for sure. And I think it had to have been a long rifle based off of how, so Charlie was like 10 yards in front of me from where my microphone was. So even if you have a pistol, if someone was talking about a pistol and all this stuff and
All right, that was an interview from an eyewitness there who had just spoken to Kirk right before he had been shot. So obviously new information coming in.
We want to bring you the words of another eyewitness on the phone right now, Taylor Dufour. He was at the event with his wife. Taylor, What did you see? What did you hear? And where are you now?
I'm in our vehicle. We're still in the parking lot. We can't get out now. We were about 30 feet to the side of him, actually almost directly in line of the shot, is what it looks like from looking at videos. Everything was great. The conversation was not heated or anything. And then, yeah, next thing you know, we heard one shot fired, and everybody just dropped down and kind of started to go into panic mode. So my first thought was get my wife to the ground and lay on top of her and help those around us if they needed.
I can imagine just pandemonium, panic, and so forth. Did you see what happened to Charlie as he got shot and went down?
I actually didn't see it actually happen, but I did look over as he was still in his chair falling. I could see a lot of blood coming out of his neck.
EMS rushing to the scene?
Yeah. I mean, the police, everybody, that works in that industry, they were great. They got right to work, and we appreciate all those.
What was going through your mind? You said 1 second they were debating politics in a civilized way, and then this. What were you thinking as this was happening?
We actually, me and my wife have talked about that. It's such a great group of people that come together to listen to him, the joy and the happiness he brings to people, and the things that he talks about. And on the way there, we were talking about how cool it is that he doesn't have to live in the fear of having bulletproof glass around him and everything, because the people are so great that surround those events.
And how you feeling right now? What's your main thought?
I'm actually upset. I'm sad that anybody could hate someone this bad, and that's such a great, people coming together regardless of political views. It's we're all coming together to build America up, make America a better place, and then we have this, like how somebody could hate somebody so bad. It sucks.
Yeah, I'll let that be the last
there were so many women and children here in the crowd that were just devastated and running scared, and we were just, and you can't help everyone. It's scary.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to disagree with that. Mr. Dufour, thank you for your observations, your insight, and talking with us. We really appreciate that.